Who All Gonna Be There podcast, a place where you get to be an exclusive member of our very entertaining group chat. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Who All Gonna Be There podcast, the place where you get to become an exclusive member of our very entertaining. Trees, what are you doing? You taking pictures of us right now?
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I never realized I never took a shot of our opening thing. So I was like trying to go fast. I was like, oh, let me do a little Snapchat.
I'm like, I see Teresa's arms up and she's holding some. Okay.
Y'all know when the camera come back, I'm gonna be doing something.
Exactly. You were dancing.
I don't never be sitting there like this.
I know. I saw you dancing during the countdown.
Oh, you can
see me, huh, Eric? Oh yes, I see.
Because you can see me in the backstage thing. I'm glad I wasn't like scratching my behind.
Oh my goodness. Nah, you weren't doing that. Thank
Don't
goodness.
be doing that like that one dude, Terrence, to be on the camera.
Look, he said,
and the fact that he be looking around is like, so you know what you like doing.
It's like, sir,
200 something cameras, bro. We see you.
100.
Are y'all doing okay?
Yeah.
You guys have a good weekend and week?
Yeah.
I had a great weekend. I did a whole bunch of nothing, which is like one of my absolute favorite things to do now. Oh wait, you know I lied that fast. I went out.
Oh, you lied. Okay.
I did. I forgot.
And
I told you about that. Okay, so most of the weekend I didn't do nothing, but I forgot Saturday night I went out for my friend's birthday. And shout out to my friend TPZ. My friend Tamar's birthday was this weekend, and she got drunk. And I only had to stay out for like an hour because she got too drunk. And I was like, yeah, I get to go home.
That was your get out of party and free card.
Yes. Like I love her, but
she's bad home, y'all.
I be so tired now, y'all. Like I was in the bed, like, let me go support my friend for her birthday. I love her though, and I had a good time. So I'm just glad that time was only 60 minutes.
Look, I am glad you had a good time, Chad.
Yeah. What'd you do this weekend, Kiki?
Look, I was working. I low-key, don't tell nobody. I low-key procrastinated.
Tell nobody.
Don't tell them.
And had a lot to do for work. Because I took a lot of days off this month. And then I had reports to do. And I didn't do them. I didn't finish them until this weekend.
So you had to work.
I worked. And then, so a friend, her girl about to have a birthday party, right? And it's a Barbie theme, right? And she's like, oh,
that's cute.
You know, the shirts cost too much and and I just need
I
need some shirts for all my kids. And she got 6 kids. Baby, when I tell you, I figured out how to put together a heat press, how to make t-shirts. I was making
shout
Barbie
out to my best friend.
Yes.
Look, right.
That's our friend too.
Hey, Lachey, to protect the innocent, we're gonna call her.
Hey, girl. Hey, Shay.
Oh my God! But yes, I was being creative, to say the least. Eric, you doing all right? You had a good weekend.
I am. Yeah, you know, I had a very tumultuous week.
Oh, Lord, the words.
Yeah,
tumultuous. Okay, tell us about it.
No. I'm not telling the pod. I'm sorry, y'all not that exclusive. I love y'all, not y'all. I'm talking about our listeners.
Now we get to hear about it. Y'all don't. Because, you know, I'm about to ask about it in about 43 minutes.
That's exclusive. But no, my weekend was pleasant though. I just sat home and it was much needed, much relaxing to be done.
Pleasant weekend.
Yeah.
And are you doing pleasant today?
I am.
Okay.
I forgot what today was, but I'm doing all right.
Okay.
Today is
our week
Madness Monday. Oh, that sounds fun.
School too.
Yes.
Welcome back. Welcome back all
the people, everybody who is back in school.
Right.
Some are starting school next week, right after Labor Day. Welcome back to school, y'all. Y'all can do it. You know,
we can do it now. Do it.
Right now, lick it good.
No,
I was talking about school though.
Oh, I ain't heard that remix.
I ain't doing it. No.
Oh. Y'all know I'm in a singing mood. I'm gonna sing everything tonight. We're gonna get into the show, I promise.
We appreciate you guys coming back to the show. This is season 4, episode 8 of the pod. And we have been talking about the challenge. But before I pass the mic over to Eric regarding the challenge, stuff has been going on in these Twitter streets. We've been seeing news articles, child. And as we all know, we're not covering Big Brother this I'm like, now that we're not covering Big Brother, we're seeing all kind of articles coming out
It's
from
bleeding in over
ET
here.
and
Yep.
TMZ and TV Guide. Today, actually, TV Guide actually did the very best to me in terms of covering a lot of things that have been going on in the Big Brother house. And we kind of touched on it before. There were some issues with regard to racism in the Big Brother house. A contestant by the name of Kyle. Twitter has named him KKKYLE, hashtag KKKYLE. And to be frank, Twitter and the fans have been fed up with the blockage or the blocking of Kyle's behavior in the Big Brother house.
Yep.
And so I wanted to open up a discussion about that really quickly here because it's all over our Twitter timeline. No, we're not covering the episode, but stuff has really been coming out left and right.
Yeah.
So I wanted to open up to you guys to see your thoughts on all this. What are your thoughts on this hashtag? And really, Treese, what's the backdrop of this?
So the thing that really got me interested in it, okay, so we know how Big Brother is now. They block anything when it comes to anything that is in the not the best interest of their favorite. We all know from jump that Kyle was a Big Brother favorite. But based off of everything that's happened these last few days, the whole racism thing is back on the table. We all know Kyle suggested that there pretty much be an all-white alliance. Now, he never said all-white alliance, but he named all the white people in the house and said, let's make an alliance. And he said 1 black person, 2 black person, 3 black person, the Puerto Rican, and the Middle Eastern, they're all working together. So, of course, let's be frank. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to look at it like this. If Eric said, I heard Kiki and Treese are in an alliance, you think, oh, they probably got an all-girl alliance. So if you're going to group us together, that's how we're going to be grouped. So basically, you know, Mike used it to a strategy. We already know that. Go ahead, Eric.
I was going to say, the problem, I don't know, maybe y'all have different feelings about this, wasn't necessarily like, oh, there could be a potential cookout, because that's a valid thought process.
Yes.
But it's when you are,
that wasn't the issue.
That wasn't the issue. The issue is you putting these people together that don't like each other. They clearly do not like each other. People who
that are clearly working with you.
Yep. They working with you.
That's clearly kicked out other black people already.
Easy road to 6.
I would take it further. He had the easiest ride out of the 7 of the leftovers than anybody else, because he had the pound with the 4.
He would have had final 4, honestly.
Yes. All he had to do was sit there and eat his food.
Because even if so Turner won HOH this week, and if the pound was still the pound, even if he got put on the block, unless it was against another pound member, you only need 2 votes, right?
3.
Yeah, because this week is 3.
It's
Next week would break. Somebody would have to break the tie.
Yeah,
but still, are you done? And he had his little raggedy showmans, so that would have been in his favor. He would have the pound and his showmans.
Yeah.
And you went and just said, let me get this silent minority together.
And he called himself, the thing is, he referred to, we're the silent majority in the house.
Yep.
We're the silent majority. So he started using these kind of Trumpisms and referring to the other side of the house.
What he's doing.
Yes, he had his little fingers up like this.
It was scary how much they similar when people compare both of them side by side.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's doing that purposely, or he's just watched this man so much he's mimicking his mannerisms and just not And
Alyssa too. Even when she called herself popping off on jokes about
Yep.
Did she get that from Kyle, or did she get that from the history of her life?
Right. Because I'm thinking people it's just an okay sign. Yeah, but I don't know too many people that do too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what makes it weird.
Even when I've seen people be their hands be out, they'd be stop,
right.
or or they just use one hand,
right?
Not this.
Black people don't do that.
Yeah, and the other issue I think about when it came to Kyle is making statements like referring to them as aggressive and just the typical stereotypical references to black people. Oh, they're dangerous. Oh, they're aggressive. Oh, scary. Oh, all these different terms. and is painting, the people of color as these dangerous beings that are going to blow up the house, that kind of thing. And so that became problematic. There were also other statements. He had made a statement to Turner. Turner had some hat on or whatever outside, and he told him he looked like a rice farmer. Like, you're doing too much, sir.
Yep.
And so at the end of the day, Michael and Brittany went on a tour. Mind you, these racist things were happening since the beginning of the game. And so the issue that TV Guy brought up, they're like, listen, this has been an issue. We want to see at least 3 of these things show up on the episode this week, because enough hiding what's going on. And one of the other things that has gotten people kind of riled up is Brittany and Michael. They've been hearing these things this entire time, to the point that production,
like 2-3 weeks ago.
Exactly. Yeah. So they've been sitting on this information for about 3 weeks, and they were so called uncomfortable. And so, but this week, their games are on the line. You have Taylor and Brittany on the block. And then you have Michael, who won the power of veto.
Well, he was a backdoor option, and he knew that.
Yeah, he was going to be backdoored. So he's like, oh, I'm going to get revenge. His words, he's going to get revenge against Kyle, because I have so many things against you. And so for him to say that, and then go, and basically he went around to the entire house and told everybody about Kyle trying to make an all-white alliance. It outed him as being racist and using race as a basis for his game decisions. But then at the same time, they had a house meeting, talked about it.
That we got blocked from, of course.
They blocked us from the feeds. And allegedly during that house meeting, Kyle admitted to using race as a basis for his game making decisions.
Which is surprising.
So he came out and said that, but then Terrence turns around and says, allegedly, because
what he said, girl?
Blocked. He said, Terrence turned around and was like, Michael and Brittany, you guys are just as bad as Kyle for bringing up all of
and
this
for
stuff
once was right
when your life is on the line in the game, which is very true. So I'm gonna stop right here. Listeners, audience, you guys have a basis of where this is going, what we've been reading on this Twitter timeline these weeks now. I want to pose a question to you and to the listeners. Was Brittany and Michael wrong for holding and sitting on this information for 3 weeks now that their lives are in jeopardy in the game?
Give me a W.
Look,
give me a
I'm gonna give it a yes and no. This was my issue with that whole thing. Okay, you knew about this stuff 3 weeks ago. Let's be real. We already know the only reason why y'all didn't really go in on this alliance is because the DR tipped y'all off, saying that the optics of this didn't look too good.
Correct.
Sure. Cool. My thing that I have a big issue with is, we all know that these people have been performing for the TV. We know, especially Mike. Mike is the best at it, honestly.
Oh my God.
We all know. He's like, well, I wasn't using this for game. Own it. Yes, you was.
Right.
And it worked in your favor. And I'm okay with it because it worked in my favor and it helped my faves out.
Yes.
So I'm not mad at it, but let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
You were a potential backdoor option.
Yes.
Luckily, you won the veto. And now that you're safe, you want to reveal this information because you were breaking. It's very smart. I'm not gonna hold Mike, because if he didn't hit the block this week, which he did, fortunately, but if he was still here next week, that puts him a target in front of Mike. You know what I'm saying? My problem is Mike been quiet for the most part. Brittany been crying her little behind up. Like, you was the one tagging along with Mike in every conversation because you wanted to be a part of it. And then when you get called about it, you want to cry tears.
Crying. Yeah.
You put yourself there, so now you in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you done dipped your toe in the honey and surprised that you done got some stuff stuck on you.
And Brittany, she's talking about, oh, this is the worst day of my life. And the thing about it is,
the worst day of my life, girl, bye.
The black players have been, Taylor specifically, let's keep it real. That's the reason why we're not even covering the season. Taylor specifically has been ostracized this entire game. Yes. So for you to be tone deaf and go and talking to these black players, or even venting to Taylor about it, how you feeling, it's like, girl,
she checking up on y'all.
Exactly.
Brittany, are you okay? Baby, I would have went inside with my lays and laid down. Laid with my lays. Girl, bye. I'm not these.
So going to answer your question, I think Therese answered it perfectly, pretty much. Because I agree, like get in the game sense with any type of information. It was smart because Michael waited till he was safe. He won the veto, and he knew he could save Brittany. And because it would look sketch if you hitting the block and now all of a sudden all this information coming out. Now you're just making up stuff to save yourself or save Brittany or whatever. But since we both know you're safe, you waited till you were safe, which again, that's smart. But it's just the fact that no, you didn't do this from a place of we cared. Oh, we were bothered. We were troubled.
This was not allyship. No, I don't care what anybody says.
Extremely performative. You all had y'all acting shoes on, and y'all were out there. That's all it was. Pure acting. No true
worthy performance. Congratulations. Yeah. Thank you for saving the Black people, because that's what this.
Thank you for getting out Kyle, because I wanted him gone this week. Anyway.
Right.
Exactly.
And it's so funny because, and I tweeted this, I said it's hilarious that he's going to be leaving on Turner's HOH this week after he just, flipped and got Joseph out and turned on the alliance. They had a conversation 2 weeks ago. And they were like, oh, the person who flips on the alliance, this was Turner telling him, they usually go out the very next week. And now what is he doing? Going out very next week.
That's what happened.
And look at him.
Yeah.
But so with all this conversation going on, which is what led us into this tweet that I want to read. We all know Kalia. What season was Kalia on?
13.
13, correct? Okay. She was on season 13. Everybody know, the stuff that a lot of Black women specifically and a few Black men have went through. A few Black men, all the Black women, all the Black men, let me rephrase that, have went through on Big Brother and the microaggressions, the racism that they experienced. Kalia tweeted this last night. She said, "We get it. You love Taylor. She's dope. It's fine. But good grief, the hypocrisy is OC? What's OC? I don't know.
Out of control.
Out of control. You turn on everyone and everything that is in her way and claim racism. Where were you when my head was being imposed on an Aunt Jemima or a gorilla? Or when I was described as fat and a nobody by Jeff and Brendan?" Okay. Do I want to ask your opinion? Let me ask your opinion first, because I got an opinion about it. Okay.
I said Aunt Jemima started coming in my head when you said that. I started trying to see.
Sir. Your pancakes.
I think specifically for me, the people that she's fussing at, that she's calling hypocrites, are like 17 years old right now.
Yes.
So 10 years ago, they were 7.
The girl, they was in first grade.
they weren't allowed to have a Twitter account. They couldn't be on Facebook. They probably weren't even watching you at that point. And so to put out a blanket statement calling these people hypocrites, unless she's talking to, is she talking to the alumni?
I don't know. She should have asked somebody.
Because somebody there needed to be a little bit, it needed to be refined. Because sis, we trying to figure out what you're talking about.
Because bad. The way I roll my eyes at this tweet, I ain't gonna hold you.
Because it sounded like she was like, oh, y'all want to stand up for Taylor, but wasn't nobody standing up for me. So y'all need to go ahead and let her get what I got. It's
like, no, don't be mad.
It's giving pick me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I experienced racism too.
Giving, I want to be called back. Post
which is wild, because Kalia was a really good player.
I love Kalia.
She made it far. She made it to the final 5, which a Black woman hadn't done in a very long time. Coming from her season, I think, it'd been some years. And so Kalia was, she was a favorite of people. She wasn't mine because I was rooting for Rachel, but kudos for Black women making it far and playing well. But I think she probably ain't watching these feeds because that's a non-feeds tweet. Because you cannot sit here and know what Taylor, or see the clips, seeing what's happened to Taylor, and then insert yourself. You are doing exactly what a lot of the other people who make excuses. Oh, well, nobody is saying something about X. We're not talking about them. We're talking about Taylor and how she was treated. And for you to try to say people are being hypocritical, I get the stands. If you're gonna talk to, like you said, Kiki, it should have been more refined. Stands don't care if Taylor was to put up Monty and whoever, even though it was against her better interest. They can be like, well, it's their fault. They need to go. Taylor's queen. But we're not talking about stands. You didn't mention that. The way you put that tweet, it made it seem like you were saying that we're all claiming racism when things are up against her. And it's like, no, when it's facts, it's facts. And
go ahead.
No, I'm done. It's just
and it's also given like my racism was worse than Taylor's. Like she sounded like Britney. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm not sure that's what she tried to convey in her tweet. But when I read that, the way I was like, is this a burner account? Who is this?
Listen,
did you mean to tweet that?
It was to the point where I'm like, did you mean to put that in your group chat?
That's what I'm saying. Because, we be talking wild in the group chat sometimes. So I was just like, is this the real Kalia? Girl, I was on the page and everything.
I was disappointed because she started calling stuff trying to, talk about what she really meant in the comments, but it's like, dang,
people was charging her up at that point. Like,
baby, I had to backspace because I was saying some stuff. So let me backspace.
Right, let me go.
It was just wild. Like, and nobody's trying to hide that she experienced some racism and some judgment on her season. She clearly did. And let's be real, Jeff and Jordan were loved by the fandom. Baby, in 2022, that's not the same story, babe. It's not the same story.
Twitter wasn't even big like that.
It wasn't.
So what was they going to defend, sis? Where were they going to defend you from?
Exactly.
Right. MySpace.
I'm sorry. Somebody wrote a tweet. It said, Kalia at her thing, we going to do a Selma march for treatment of Big Brother when we was 8. I said, not 8.
That was Kato. I think his name is Kato.
Baby, I holler. I ain't gonna lie.
That was the funniest
tweet I mean, Twitter was around then, but social media is different from social media. What year is it? 2000? I don't know.
The impact of social media is different. Like,
it
we
really
would have had to take another route. And I don't think people were taking those routes at that point. Yeah. Maybe they were calling up the state. Like, I don't know what people were doing. But
social media is just a different ballgame.
They weren't tweeting about it.
Wasn't.
I mean, you can let one nigga drop and your job is gone. I'm talking about your whole life ruined. Your mortgage is not paid. Lose your house. Lose your job. In 2005,
homeless.
They was dropping them M-bombs like nothing. You know what I mean? And nothing was happening. You just have to remember like the time you were in. I mean, it's as simple as the things that I say now, I probably couldn't have said 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And that's also to say, like, I've been a fan of Big Brother. I've been watching Big Brother since season 2. And I didn't even get on Big Brother Twitter until 2 years ago. I'm 33 years old. Mm-hmm. So when all this stuff was going on, I didn't even know there was a whole Big Brother community on Twitter.
Exactly. Me either.
I didn't know 2 years ago. And I'm 33 years old. So I was 31 when I found y'all on Twitter. And I was like, oh, these many black people watch Twitter? Watch Big Brother?
I started Twitter Big Brother with
I didn't know there was that many black people. Yes, Celebrity Big Brother. You know what? That's probably mine.
Yeah.
I want to say that's the first one I was like, really, Celebrity Big Brother, right?
So I found, when I was on Twitter. So during her season, it was about 2011, 2012. And about a decade ago or whatever. I got on Twitter, found Byyyeee Updates, the page, Byyyeee Updates. I found that during season 15. Yeah. So that's when I first saw it. And for me, I really wasn't working Twitter like that. Twitter was just for me, tweet at my friends and whoever and see what's going on. I never clicked the hashtag. I was never using hashtags like that. Me
neither. Hashtags was that popular then.
I didn't even know to click on the hashtag to find other people talking about the show.
Me too. That's the only thing. I was on them Byyyeee Updates because I didn't have feeds then. Or I wasn't as into feeds as I am now because we do a podcast about this stuff. But I didn't know that I could click and find other people in the community that watch the same show. Yes. I'm gonna be very weird, very real. Like, my man used to be like, Trish, you probably the only black person in this world that watch Big Brother.
I thought I was alone.
And I thought it was about me and about 8 other people. I said, don't nobody black watch this show.
But baby, there are thousands of us.
Baby.
It was just, in my mind, it was just me. And then I put my little brother on during season 13. And then I thought it was
it was just about us.
It was just us. And then my grandma told me she watched it. I was like, Grandma, you watched this show? Y'all didn't know. She's like, yeah, baby. But she didn't watch. And then my uncle, I found out one of my uncles was watching. I didn't find out he was watching Byyyeee 18. And so it's just like, I just didn't know people were watching this. If I would have known this, I could have found this community a lot faster and a lot.
Right.
more, but yeah.
So basically, to wrap it up, just Kalia sis, like we get it. I think that tweets was, it might have been taken out of context. I don't know if she's standing by that tweet. It's still up because I thought she would have deleted it by now because she getting ate up in them comments. But I mean, at the end of the day, she a black woman in the Big Brother community, and we support you 100%. But we're gonna tell you when you're wrong, sis. And that tweet just wasn't giving. I'm gonna just say that
it didn't give nothing but
it
wrong.
wasn't.
So it gave invalid.
Yeah. It gave. Are you a robot? Click the traffic lights because who wrote this? Are you a robot?
Oh my goodness!
Click the bicycles.
Right. Find the traffic lights.
This can't be real person. This can't be
giving. It's giving hacked by Kyle's mom.
Oh my god!
To get the attention off of him. That's what it's giving.
Oh shoot!
Look, Kalia, we love you, girl. But we're gonna call it out, when we see it. So that's what it is.
You want to come on here and tell everybody what you really meant, but
come on, sis.
Cause something.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sis. I guess.
Well, that concludes our Twitter Streets update. Talking about everything that's been happening, Big Brother and everything else, child, on our timeline. But now we're gonna pass the mic to Eric. You're gonna get us up to speed with the Challenge USA. So I'm gonna go ahead and hand it over to you.
Go ahead, boss.
The Challenge USA. So this week we are finally done with the algorithm, and everybody is playing as individuals as we suspected. I think Kiki mentioned it or verified it for us before on the last episode. So I'm interested to see what's gonna come out of this, because everybody's been talking big and bad, Sarah, about how great of competitors they are. So it's like, all right, now it's time for you to step up and show your mettle. Like, if you really about what you say you about. But before we get into the challenge, we have Mr. Danny, our NFL Danny, who always gives Kiki a shout out.
He is so fine. Oh.
And his beautiful wife, Kiki.
Fine. I know he gives his wife, Kiki, a shout out, but he can give this Kiki a shout out too.
Oh my goodness.
I had to throw that in there. I was thinking about that when I was watching the episode.
I didn't forget. I was like, dang, Kiki name is Kiki. He could really be talking about Kiki. No, just play it.
That's funny.
But he was talking. So his little confessional, he was mentioning that he's wrapping up and he don't have no money. He's one of the players that have no money, can't qualify for the final. And so he's like, if I don't win something, he's like, I might need to just go ahead and get thrown in there or go down to elimination so I can win. And he was like, honestly, whatever alliance member I have, if I gotta throw them up under there, throw under the bus to get some money, I'm gonna do it. So be like, okay, Danny, because Danny from Survivor, Danny has not been a cutthroat player.
He was very passive in Survivor. I ain't gonna hold you. Very
passive, and he seems to be kind of passive here too, if we're being honest. Like, he's just kind of stayed in the background, which is good, honestly. Great gameplay. When you got 30,000 people playing this game, it's best to stay in the background. And so, he's played a pretty passive game. And so for him to be talking about, I'll throw my alliance members, forget Survivor Strong, and there I'm gonna win to get this money. I'm like, okay, I would like to see it. I would like to see Danny McCray get in there and beat somebody, because it's Danny. And then we have Miss Sarah, who is the only woman who doesn't have money at this point.
Baby, the way I'm so tired of Sarah.
Listen,
I'm tired of hearing her talk.
Oh my God.
She is complaining and she is upset why she the only one ain't got no money. But yes, she talking the most noise and she talking about, I'm gonna get in here and do this and I'm gonna do that. And so I'm like, okay, we come to this individual challenge. Let's see what you're about. Let's see what you made of, since you got all this talk, all this in a big bag of chips. We get to the challenge and it's a water challenge again. And TJ ain't gonna get enough of these water challenges. He know these people don't like to swim. He know these people don't like water, but yet he gives us another one.
And don't be caring.
And don't care. And apparently he really liked this one because he dressed up for the first time. He had like a little nice little button down little shirt, and he all dressed up and it's like, oh, so you decided to dress up because you are ready to see these people compete individually and get all messed up. Because not only did the way this one worked, is they have to run across, jump from this boat onto this platform, this stretch of platform, like a little mat, long mat, and it's slippery because it's in the water. So you got the waves and stuff crashing over. And it also has soap and stuff on it too, so it's slippery. And so they have to jump from there, get onto that, stay on there, because if you slide off, you're disqualified. And once you get on the mat, you have to run to the other end and get these little pieces and run them back for your puzzle. And once you securely get the 4 pieces in there, you unlock it, get your flag out, and run your flag back to the other post. And then obviously the fastest person who completes it wins. But the catch, TJ was like, also, there are going to be 2 people blasting you with water cannons while you're doing it. And so it's like, not only I gotta freaking make sure I stay alive when I jump onto the mat, I gotta worry about dodging people shooting me with water cannons so I don't get knocked off. And so, they start off with the guys going, and so we have Tyson, him, and Ben, I believe they went at the same time. And so it's like, okay, like this is Tyson, and Ben been ready to win something. He had him a little segment, so he had a little fire in him because he lost his friend Blake, who was in the Marines with him some years back. And so he was doing this to honor Blake. And so he went in, fired up. Tyson, obviously, it's like, okay, Tyson's gonna give it his all. And so they compete, and then we have Sarah and Angela, they going at it. And so one thing, though, that Tyson did, he brokered a deal with Dominic. He was like, let's not spray him with the water cannon. Let's spray the soap off. Let's help each other. Let's help her out. Because Angela, we're good. We're good. So if she wins, I can make sure you're safe. And so he kind of brokered this deal because, Dominic, he like the wind. He going to blow this way with power. He going to blow the other way. And so Tyson wanted to make sure that if Dominic won, that he'd be safe, but he wanted to reassure him that if Angela won, that he would also be safe. And so instead of blasting her with the cannons, they decided they were going to help her out and get rid of the soap off her platform to help her go. And
Come on here strategizing.
That man is always strategizing, and I see why
you
he's
really have to appreciate about the Survivor and Big Brother players. Is that I just love watching them on this show just because they do come in with strategy. They come in for real wanting to win this thing. They're not here for another Love Island makeup. You know what I mean? Of course, they have some Love Island people there, but I appreciate them bringing strategy into the game.
Absolutely. Because it makes it interesting where it gets boring. Because, it's kind of been boring a little bit since our faves are gone and whatnot. But so they run in the challenge. Everybody's going. Mr. Leo. Everybody's like, oh, here go Leo. They didn't know how he was gonna do. They steady talking about Leo this, Leo that. But that man hopped on that mat and got to running. I mean, you would have thought he was Usain Bolt. He light as a feather. He was, chopping it up too. They were like, oh my God.
You were floating on that thing.
He had the men scared. He had them scared. They were like, Leo's gonna win this thing. Because he came out the gate hot and didn't stop. Okay. And then you have Enzo. This man, I don't know. Enzo, he just bugs me.
He cracks me up. I like watching Enzo because he's funny. Just so.
But it's just like the thing that got me was they were over here cheering him on. Like, come on, Enzo, you got it. I'm like
being fake.
I would have thought he was a child the way they was cheering him on because it felt patronizing while listening to it. Because like this man is 52 years old and y'all are coddling him.
But he was in pain. You forgot the man was in pain. Remember, he was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the challenge. I don't know if I'm going to be able to move.
He was lying.
I forgot all about it.
Lies.
Anyways, so after
that
everybody...
was strategies, what that was.
I'm weak. So after everybody completes it, TJ's like, all right, there's seconds that separates the winners from each one. So he announces the men. Basically, it was between Ben and Leo. And by seconds, Ben came out with the win. It's like, dang, Leo is this close to getting it. But Ben wins it. He takes it for the men. And Miss Sarah, like I said, she's been talking her trash all this time. She the biggest competitor. Everybody need to be scared. Beware. You don't want to face me. I'm this, I'm that. Did she win?
And didn't, to the point where Angela was like, how about if you want to make some money, you need to win one of these daily challenges?
Listen, I wasn't mad at Angela. I was like, yeah, get your ass out there.
No, Facts.
Oh
Because
my God.
it was funny because, and look at the editing team, they be knowing what they're doing because it was literally a confessional or two before when Sarah was like, I don't even know why people keep considering Angela this big competitor. She's really not even doing much if you ask me. And then he like, Angela, you won the thing.
Not the editing team was petty.
Very much so.
I like Challenge Angela way better than Big Brother Challenge.
Yes.
I mean Big Brother Angela.
Absolutely. Because Big
Challenge
Brother
is for
Angela
her. Big
was
Brother, don't
furniture.
ever go back on that show. She was boring.
Yes.
Yes.
But she's doing what needs to be
Yeah,
done.
that's her
for
bag. I
this-
ain't
for
gonna
this
lie. I
game.
don't even really like her in general, but Challenge is her bag. She should
For
definitely
sure.
keep with it.
Yeah, like
And
she
keep Tyler at home.
in the room. Lock the door. Don't let him come back.
Let
out.
him get
Have
a
we seen
t-shirt.
him since his performative
Oh
activism?
no! I bet you he wrapped up TV after that.
And he
Child,
should-
Because that was a mess.
He was in his
I think
mic
she
bag.
wrapped up them cookbooks too, because I ain't heard her say nothing about no cookbooks.
Her can't cook. I saw one recipe on there, and I saw wheatgrass, and I said, "I'm turning this."
Oh
my
What is this?
no!
No, I'm making it up. I don't even know what you're talking about, but but when I looked at that picture, it looked like she didn't know how to cook.
She don't. I can
In the
look at
house,
it.
she didn't look like she knew how to cook. She was eating peanut butter every day.
Yep,
Nothing in the house showed me that she was a cook.
not a thing.
I'm weak. So we have Ben and Angela, and they're talking about like who they want to put in and what to go off of. And before they brokered it, she decided to broker a deal with him. She was like, "Listen, the Survivor guys plus me and Alyssa, like we can do this. I promise you. You keep us safe. We got you. You know, we're the strongest girls here." But she was like, "Look, I know you and Sarah cool. You cool with that, but we're the strongest women here." Okay, and you want to ride with us. And so she's like, you, Danny, Tyson, and Dominic, and us two, let's ride this thing out to the end. And obviously he was hesitant because he's like, I'm close with Desi, and Sarah's like my best friend or whatever coming in. And he was like, but I'm gonna take the deal because why not? Because he mentioned, and I didn't think about this, and so this is something for me to keep in my mind if I was ever going to challenge. When it comes to the, it was a men's only elimination too, by the way. And so Enzo was obviously in last place, so he was going into the elimination, and so they had to choose somebody to go against him. And so the way they do it is both choose somebody. But Ben mentioned on the Challenge podcast that really, if they don't agree, and y'all probably know because y'all watch Challenge more than I do, if Angela decided to not agree with the person he put in or wanted to put in, he would go in. So he was vulnerable.
Ooh.
So yes, and so she really holds all the power. So whenever there's a men's elimination, the women have the power, and when it's a woman's elimination, the men will have the power.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
So he mentioned, he was like, and at the end of the day, she really had all the power because I really wasn't in a position to disagree, because if I disagreed with her decision, I was going in. And he took the deal, which was smart, and he kind of explained his game a lot more. I was kind of impressed, which I don't really know why we don't like Ben, because I kind of like Ben now after listening to him on the podcast. But
I don't really got that much of a problem with Ben, honestly.
Okay.
He just kind of boring sometimes. But
just, we get this. I got the information again. The same thing
wait,
with
Ben
Sarah.
want the ponytail?
No, Ben is one with that Van Helsing hat. They wear that hat all the time, that black hat.
Oh, no, I really like Ben. I take it back. I thought we were talking about ponytail. Who's ponytail? Oh, I'm thinking of Tyson. I like Tyson.
Yeah, I don't know why we don't like Ben, but
yeah, he just kind of I don't hate him, and I don't like him, and I don't not like him. He just kind of there.
Okay. For me. But anyway, so yeah, he mentioned that, and so he had no choice really but to acquiesce and give Angela what she wanted in this situation. But it was for him too, so they decided to throw in Leo against Enzo, and it was sad because this one was Hall Brawl, which everybody's excited to see. But we know Enzo from the streets, okay, and Enzo is a little taller, and so
that's meow meow.
The meow meow.
That's streets Enzo right there, meow meow.
And so it's like, oh dang, we gonna see. I didn't think Leo had a chance against Enzo, and so that was right.
Yeah, he didn't. Right.
Didn't. Enzo ran through him. Apparently, Leo was close the first round, although they didn't show us that he was actually kind of close. But in the end, Enzo was able to beat him 2-0. And Leo was unfortunately sent home. And it's sad because he was hitting his stride. Like, I feel like he was almost to go from almost winning the daily by a second, lost by a second, to getting thrown in. Like, he was just hitting his hot streak, and like it's just sad.
Well, he can go home and tend to his business now. Because remember the last week,
I've been saying, you know what? About happy is his girl. Jesus,
he was finna leave last week, so at least this week, you know, he tried his best.
Angela guilted him.
It wasn't good enough, and so now he's home.
He went home, went on home to be with his businesses.
Yes,
and girlfriend. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all this was for the challenge. I mean, it was. The Hall Brawl was. I wish it would have been somebody else. You know.
Yeah. Like a fair fight, because
if we had saw like Danny. Oh, low key, I want to see Danny hit somebody and knock somebody out. Because you know he plays football. Girl, shout out to the Cowboys. But I want to see him. I want to see him knock somebody out. Shout out to Danny.
Right, and I think Eric, you with us?
Did I get cut out?
No, you
just froze the chat.
You kind of had a thought for a minute.
Yeah, I was like, are you thinking that?
Was I still talking?
No.
Oh Lord, see the internet. But listen, the show must always go on, so I just kept talking just in case I was still going.
Here. Hey, you never know.
Professionalism.
Come on.
And so I was getting ready to say, and I'm gonna wrap it up. I forgot to mention. So Sarah, once again, she was trying to get Ben to throw her in. She's like, I know it's never been done before, a woman to go against a man in elimination, but I want to show the other girls that I can do it. You can go out here, you can do it, you can do it. And Ben was like, no, I'm not throwing. He was like, so you go down there and you get eliminated, then what? Exactly. And so when they seen that it was Hall Brawl, it's like, oh, you still think you want to go in there?
Look, and get knocked clean out by Enzo.
Baby, I wish I wouldn't.
Pancake.
Who ain't gonna stop Enzo? He's street. He don't care.
Hold on. Do y'all think, because y'all know how TJ is. I know they be yelling at TJ in that little earpiece, because I know he be breaking rules. What if Sarah said, no, I want to go? And then TJ like, bro, it's a men's elimination. Yeah, but I want to go. I feel like TJ would be like, well, get your ass down here and go.
He would have.
Baby, I would have ate. I would have ate that
she would have backed out on the stretcher.
Baby, the way her shoulder would have been. Enzo would have ate her.
I was cracking up because one day say she's talking about Sarah talking all this stuff. She said, but she ain't bust a grape with a high heel. And she talking all this mess. Did nothing. And so she would have took her behind down there. Enzo would have ran clean through her and knocked her chin off her shoulders.
Baby, it would have been gone.
And she'd be looking stupid. You didn't ask.
Baby, we would have had Sarah on some t-shirts
with the wings.
I am weak.
So,
oh my gosh.
I would have liked to see it, because I would have liked to see her go home, because you've been asking for 3 weeks in a row to go into this elimination because you ain't got no money.
Like, sis, you could get your money if you win a comp. Win a comp.
You win a challenge. Go win a daily, please.
Ooh, that's individual, so now she can't be saying nothing. So
you can't blame your partner.
You could say maybe it's your partner, but now it's you.
Oh,
so you 0-1, sis.
And so, I mean, so that kind of wrapped it up. Enzo winning, he feeling himself like, like, first of all, I thought you had stitches. He was exaggerating about the stitches too. Ben said he was lying about the stitches.
He was in his Jasmine bag.
He was more ready for it than he let on. So the previews, did y'all watch the previews?
You know I did not.
I didn't either, child. You gotta
I always turn it off.
We know it's the ladies' elimination, and the girls are out for Angela and Alyssa. So that's what the show was saying. They're like, we got to get them. Because one, they got all the money. And two, I think they just want them out because they're just jealous.
Look, watch one of them leave.
You know what's funny to me? Angela, maybe it's because I know her now. Alyssa was likable to me on Big Brother, but on Challenge, I do not like her at all.
I don't either.
And it's probably because I know her now and her history.
She wasn't likable to me on Big Brother.
She was likable toward the end for me. In the beginning, she annoyed me.
Okay.
But when she finished, by the time she was leaving, I was like, why didn't we when Christian left?
Okay.
When Christian left,
that's it.
She was likable. She won.
She was putting the cookout together too, unassuming. Like obviously she didn't put it together, but she was like, I'm the only white person left.
when she ain't worried about no men, she was all right. But challenge, it's probably because we know the history of the cookout, and that's probably why I'm turning my nose up at her now. But man,
okay. I'm not side eyeing her as hard as I am because it was revealed again through the challenge podcast that there was an alliance that we did not know about and that they have not shown. So Kylan, Tyson, Angela, Justine, Alyssa, and somebody else, they were in an alliance together.
Mm-hmm.
And so the decisions they made were based on the alliance. So even the X decision, just different decisions that were being made was based off the alliance. And so it's like, oh, okay.
I don't like her because she was talking outside her mouth on Twitter.
That too. But it's just like,
okay.
Y'all's decisions kind of makes a little more sense when it's like, okay.
So did they start this alliance before the season started or when they got on the season?
On the season they started.
Oh, well then that's okay because in the first episode she was talking crazy. So my statement stands. She raggedy.
They didn't make it in the first episode. I think after
it was like day one. You know, they were sitting at that picnic table and her and Derek X was sitting there. It had to be day 1 or 2. And he was sitting there talking.
I said the alliance wasn't formed day 1.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to have her back.
No. She said what she said. No. She said what she said.
Okay.
And for that, I'm not a fan of her either, but I'm just saying like the whole X situation, it was explained a little more that it wasn't necessarily like for Kyle. He explained, he was like, it wasn't let me get revenge on him, but it was basically like, he's really not good to be here for my alliance because we're the ones winning stuff, and he stands in the way of my alliance winning stuff. So
I wonder why Christian didn't get put on the challenge.
Good question.
I love Christian.
I do too.
Can we trade him for Alyssa next season, TJ? Yeah. Christian got him a little black girlfriend, y'all.
Who?
Eric showed us that. Christian from Big Brother 23. He got him a little black. He got a little chocolate drop.
And she's a beautiful chocolate woman. And she's hosting the new love show, Dated and Related, on Netflix.
Oh, nice. Come on here.
Yep.
Come on here, Christian, with the
updates.
Look.
Y'all remember that little... Nah, let me not say that. Go ahead.
That's it. That's all I got.
I totally forgot to mention, and I totally forgot to thank every one of you all who are listening to the show, who are watching us right now. Thank you for being committed to us for an entire year. We have made it to a year of doing this podcast. Yes, it's our 4th season, but an entire year of you guys rocking with us and being an exclusive member of this very entertaining group chat. And we encourage you all to, 1, tell your friends about us, like, subscribe, share our broadcast. And I promise you, we have so much more content for you all.
Yes.
So many more seasons for you all. And so we just thank you. We could not do this without you guys.
And we just want to love you. Yes, please let us know. Questions, comments, whatever you need, let us know. Find us on Twitter, IG, under YouTube, on our YouTube channel. Leave stuff in the comments for us because we want to interact. Because like we do this for y'all. Like, yeah, we have fun, but like you guys are a part of this group chat too. So your voice matters just as much as ours.
Absolutely.
And we got a new season coming up. We got Survivor coming up. We got Big Brother Canada coming up. And then we got a whole bunch of stuff that we just feel like talking about because ain't nobody gonna fight us.
Nope.
So
check us, boo.
Look, we gonna have a whole new lineup. We got a whole new set. Baby, we gonna be looking the same and different next season. That's a little shady tea.
He's so stupid. I'm not good with Trees right now.
That's a little exclusive.
Y'all know I'm messy.
Oh my God. Anyway, y'all, we thank you so much for joining in and being a part of this group chat. Until next time.
See y'all later.
Bye.